Agun Shabbos Kodesh. For some of us, Parshas Emor. Others, we're dealing with Parshas Behar from Yerushalayim HaKodesh today. For some of us, yesterday. For others, the Baomer, the Yortzeit, Rav Shimon bar Yochai, the Ramah teaches us what to do. Rav Shimon bar Yochai tells us why we do, which is why the Ramah is Nigla, which to know what to do. Everybody can know what to do, why we do what we do. Not everybody has to understand it. We just have to know that there's a halacha and this is what we do. Parshas Emor, for those reading Emor, we're going to learn the Torah Samayadim. The Torah, the halachas of the Karbonis for the Yomim Tovim. In honor of the Ramah, let's learn his first halacha in Hilchos Pesach. What does the Ramah tell us after the Beis Yosef tells us about the halacha, like we learned at the end of Masechus Megillah, that Shloshim Yom Kodem Chag, we're supposed to start learning the halachas of the Yom Tiv of Pesach. So from Purim till Pesach, we're supposed to learn the halachas. The Ramah chimes in right then and there, and that's his first piece on Hilchos Pesach, on the Mayadim. This week's Parsha, this week's Yortzeit. What does Ramah say? That there's a halacha of ma'is chitim. Before he gets into the idea of chametz and matzahs and how to clean, what to clean, all this stuff. First thing is ma'is chitim, to collect money for the poor people in the area. That's the Ramah. In Parshas Behar, for those of us that are going to read Behar, we learn a pasuk of V'chiyam Chachicha. When your brother is in such a bad spot, and he is being forced to, there's a halacha, you're not allowed to sell your property. You get an achuza, you get a nachla, it's a Yerusha, and when in the times of when the Klal Yisrael lived in nachlas, so every shevet had a portion, had an area in Eretz Yisrael, that was their shevetz, and every person when they got married got a little piece, be Yerusha, off of his father's property, and that's the way it operated. You were not allowed to sell your property. If you did, okay, Yovel and went back. But what the Torah discusses, what happens if a person is in such a terrible financial state and he's being forced because of his poverty to sell the property that's his. Says the Torah, his relative should come and redeem him, and the next pasuk says, what happens if he doesn't have a relative? Really sad situation. He has no money, and he has no relative to bail him out. Asks Rashi, what does it mean he has no relative? Everybody has a relative. So Rashi says, what does it mean a relative that's going to bail him out? So I heard this from Rabbi Ephraim Shapiro, Rav in Miami. He has said this b'shem Rav Moshe Feinstein. So what do you mean? Rav Moshe asks, what do you mean the guy doesn't have a relative? Yes, he does. His relative just doesn't want to help him. He has the ability, and he's not. But he's not a karev. Says Rav Moshe Feinstein. You know what the Rashi, you know what the pasuk is teaching you? Is that if a person has is b'makam aniyas and his relative is not bailing him out, then that's not a karv. He's not your relative. You're not consider. Torah doesn't consider him your relative. Okay. Says the Medrash Tanchuma on this pasuk v'chiyam chachicha. The Medrash brings down the pasuk from Mishlei, not to steal from a poor person. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm the one who made him poor. So if you're starting up with him, you're starting up with me. So I asked the Medrash Tanchuma, how do you steal from a poor person? How do you steal from a poor guy? The guy has nothing. Says the Medrash Tanchuma, if you're used to giving him, if he's used to receiving money from you, and you stop giving him that money, it's as though you stole from him. It's as though you stole from him because he's relying on you for that. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, don't do that. Says the Mishnah Brura on that first Ramah that we learned that even the ani who has no way out, and you've been giving him for years, lahalacha, you have to keep giving him. If he's an ani, then he gets ma'is chitim. My dear friends, none of us should ever be in the matzav where we have to be in a situation where we have to sell our belongings to survive. And we should never be in that situation that if we get to that point, there's no relative that could bail us out. And we should also it should never enter our minds when we look at an ani who's collecting, and it's month after month, year after year, whatever the case, and they're coming back collecting again. And I go, why can't the guy just get a job? We have no idea what's going on in other people's lives, the complications, the stress they go through, and the effort they put in. We have no idea. The Medrash says, you know why he's a dal? You know why he's an ani? You know why he's an Evian? It's because HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. That's what he says in Mishlei. I made him an ani. You don't like it? Take it up with me. You don't like that there's the ani? Take it up with the Rebbeinu Shalom. We should never be put in that in any of these nisyonos. And may the schus of Reb Shimon ben Yochai, the Tana Reb Shimon ben Yochai, and the Paisik, the Ramah, may the schus of these tzaddikim, schusim of these tzaddikim that are constantly on the Torah, that's constantly being learned, may that schus be a tremendous Melitz Yosher for all of Klal Yisrael. May we see a Geula Shlema Amitis, Behar v'Yameinu. Have a Heilig Gazis Shabbos. As always, any questions, comments, or feedback, you can leave them in the comment section below.